Learning how to add piano feels between chords is one of the most powerful skills you can develop to instantly elevate your playing and sound like a pro. In this video, I'll show you 3 feel concepts you can use to connect chords and make your transition smooth and beautiful. And if you'd like to have the PDF version of these concepts to follow along, you can download it for free using the link down below in the description. Alright, so to share these concepts, let's use the classic chord progression, the 1, 6, 4, 5 in C major. So the chords we need to play this is going to be C, that's C, E, and G, A minor, A, C, and E. We have F, F, A, and C, and we also have G, G, B, and D. So just know that I'm going to be using chord inversion to play these concepts. So if this is something new for you, make sure you watch this video up here. It's going to show you how the chord inversion works first. Alright, so the first concept I want to talk about is reusing the notes of the chords to create movement. So let me show you how it could sound like first using 2 different examples. So we could go with Alright, so let me explain what I just did here. So you had 2 examples, perfect example of something that is extremely simple. Just reuse the notes that are in the chord, the triad chord you're using to create some movement. So let's go back to example number 1. And what's happening here is basically I started with simple, just a chord, the triad chord, in the root position of C major, so the 1st degree chord. So we have 1, 2, and then instead of playing just quarter note for the whole bar, I'm actually adding 8 notes, and I'm using the notes of the chords up and down. It's kind of creating this arpeggio, but it's really nice because it's just adding some movement, some rhythmic to your playing here. So the 1, the 3, 5, 3. So exactly the notes of the chord up and down. Let's do the same thing now on A minor, so the 6 minor. So we have, so this one I'm using chord inversion here, but the same concept applies here. We don't have to be in root position. We just need to play one note after the other like this, and it creates this cool arpeggio concept. All right, so it's like this. And now on F, same thing. Same notes, and on G. And there you go. So that is for example number 1. In example number 2, I'm using the same notes. I'm just changing the rhythm so you can see how creative this can be, and you can change so many things here. So we have 1, 2, a quarter note, and 2 8 notes here. So instead of going up this time, I'm doing C, G, and E. Again, I'm using the notes of the chord that I was playing, just adding some movement to it. 1, 2. On A minor, same thing. And for this one, I don't want to move my hand, so I'm going to reuse the same notes here. So the quarter note on the bottom and 2 8 notes on the top, like this. And on F, and G. Just like that. So you see, those ideas are extremely simple, and you can be so creative with that. Just change the order of the notes, change the rhythm, and create your own patterns. But you only have to use the notes of the chords. And just as a reminder, if you'd like to have the PDF version of these ideas, you can download it for free from the link in the description below. Alright, now the second concept for feels is using chord inversion at the end of the bar to add some variation and some movement. So let me show you how those two examples sounds like first. So with the whole chord progression, it goes like this. We have second example is so basically what's happening here is that I'm using chord inversion of these chords to create movement in my playing. So let's go for the first example here. So with C, we have C, we have two quarter note here, and then I'm moving the chord inversion, the first chord inversion here, first position, second position, and going back. So a chord inversion is only the same note in different order, and I'm adding the rhythm to it, so the quarter note and the 2/8 notes. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and like that. Again, just moving with the chord inversion here. And then we're going to A minor, same thing. 1, 2, up. But for A minor, I'm actually starting from a different chord inversion. This is not the root position. This is. So this works too. I'm just moving up to the root position because you can actually play chord inversion through the whole piano, right? I can go like this, up and down, until the end of the piano. So this is something very nice you can add to your playing. So the A minor is like 1, 2, 3. And F, same thing here, and G. Like that. So that's for the example number 1. Now for example number 2, I'm basically only changing the rhythm of what I'm playing. So it's still chord inversion here. So we have 1, 2, but this time instead of doing 2/8 notes, I'm actually doing a dotted A note and a 16th note. So it's kind of a cool vibe to it and changing a little bit of the rhythm here. So it sounds like 1, 2, 3. Like that. 1, 2, 3. So very simple, and again, you can be so creative with this idea of using chord inversion up and down, adding some rhythm to it, and create your own little fills and licks. And now for the third concept that you must know is simply using arpeggios. They are countless variations you can try, so I really encourage you to be creative with these techniques. Alright, so let me show you 2 examples of how it would sound like using arpeggios. So the first one would be like 1, 2. The second one could be like that. Alright, so let's take a closer look at what I just played. So the first example here is using, again, 2 quarter notes, and we're gonna do the fill at the end of the bar. For this one, I was using the octaves here and then the notes of the chord. So this is something that you can do. Basically, in arpeggios is the note of the chord, but broken when we play them one after the other. So we have like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just like that. The octave sounds great, and then you have just the arpeggio here. And then A minor, same thing here. But this one is still in chord inversion, so how it would be like. So it can work great too. We start again with the octaves with the notes that we have on the thumb here, and then we use the notes in the middle of the chord of A minor like this. So it's like that. Sounds great. F. Same thing here. We create an octave using the bottom notes here, and we fill it with the notes of the chord. And on G, same idea. So it doesn't have to be the root note. It can be like, in this case, it's the 5th of G, D. There you go. That's a great example of something you can do. Now, example number 2 is going up. So we have C, and C, E, G, and C. So we do a basic arpeggio here. And then we go to A minor. Same idea. We can start and create a new arpeggio no matter what the chord inversion we have. So just use the notes. F and G. Just like that. So super simple for the arpeggios, but it's so beautiful to use. So there you go. Start adding those concepts into your playing and you'll see how amazing they can sound. And if you found any value in this video, please subscribe to the channel and click the like button below. All right, bye for now.